Welcome back to Ducking Through Doors episode 11. But
Yep,
this will
episode.
be the podcast, new podcast episode 2. So, after the bit of the intro podcast last week, we've got episode 2. Obviously, a little bit of a makeshift one this week.
Bit of an on location.
Yeah, I'm in the usual spot, but you're not. So,
No,
you're away
no,
now.
so we're trying something slightly different. It's taken us about an hour to try and figure out which is the best one, the best app to try and record on. So
It's been
we'll
tough.
see.
Yeah,
We'll see how this goes. It won't be perfect, but it'll
hopefully
be
it
good enough, I
works.
think.
Yeah, hopefully we can just get one out. That's the main thing. Um,
Yeah.
One thing we still haven't done is picked a name, but that'll be easier once we're back in person. So the next episode will have a name and we'll sort that out. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So obviously, first round for this, there is one new section this week. But starting off again with the sports roundup, uh, if we start off with talking about Coventry.
Last week we were sat there going, "Oh, Coventry." I got a little bit nervous about Coventry going away to Millwall. It might be a difficult game. And what a week to be a Cov fan.
I
My
know.
goodness,
I think
unbelievable.
in that 7 days, we played 3 games, won 3-0, 4-0, and 5-0, won an aggregate of 12-0, didn't concede a goal. That is just, we're top of the league.
Our best player
Unbelievable.
didn't even play.
Arguably, our two best players didn't play. And I think we've got scored 27 goals in the first 9 games, which is overtook the record of 23 in the first 9 for the record of ever. So that is very, very impressive. You just got to be
I
impressed by it all, haven't you?
I mean, it's a long season and there's a long way to go. And I'm in that place where I don't want to get carried away with it all.
It's
But
really hard not to.
there's been so few times in my life where Coventry City have been top of any league that they're taking part in.
It's crazy.
I do kind of want to get carried away a little bit because it's
Oh,
just so nice to be in this position.
I fully don't mind getting carried away. I'm absolutely fine with it.
I mean, I
I'm all
appreciate that.
aboard.
I keep telling myself, do you know what? It might not last. Just got to enjoy it while it's happening. But I
Yeah.
mean, we're coming up on the year anniversary of Mark Robbins being sacked,
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
and who would have thought at that point when we were so depressed that he'd been sacked? Who would have thought that 12 months later we'd be this buzzing and we'd be enjoying watching
Yeah,
Coventry
I
play
do.
this much?
I was thinking about this the other day. I do think if you could go back to when we found out he was sacked and somebody told you, I know it's upsetting, but this time next year, Lampard's going to be the manager and you're going to be top of the league and your goal difference is going to be like triple everybody else's, everyone would have taken it. So it's like,
We'd have probably been okay with that, yeah.
yes,
I mean,
funnily enough.
I think you got to give Lampard. I mean, and Doug King. I mean, I was a bit upset with Doug King when he sacked Mark Robbins. I didn't like the way he went about doing that at all. But I
Yeah.
think you've got to give him an awful lot of credit for having the balls to make that decision, and then to Frank Lampard for coming in
I'm backing it up.
when he was probably quite nervous about coming in
Hmm.
to a club where the previous manager is and always will be an absolute club legend.
Absolutely, yeah.
To come in and do what he's done, I think he's incredible. I think he deserves a lot of credit. He does get a lot of credit off. You can see the
Does.
fans and love him.
I think the difference feels like this year. Um, we played those 3 games I was talking about. Where we played Blues and beat them 3-0 and they got a man sent off. Millwall, we beat them 4-0 away. And Sheffield Wednesday, we beat them 5-0 away. I think we've been decent these past few years, but we've always felt, I always think I've been on about the line for what is average in the league. I know we've always been above average if you think anything above 12th is average, but I always think we've been about average. For
Yeah,
when you watch us, it's like sometimes we're rubbish, sometimes we're decent, but most of the time we're just absolutely bang average. And I think these 3 performances, there was just such a gulf in level between, especially the Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday games. We were just so much better. The Blues are supposed to be decent, and we beat them easily, but it wasn't on the same. level as like that Sheffield Wednesday game on Saturday was just ridiculous. I know they're going through their troubles and they're not as good this year, but we were just unbelievably good.
Yeah. And I think for Sheffield Wednesday, I think like all power to their fans because as Cov fans, we've been in that position, and
It's
it's
hard.
awful. Like you don't know what's going to happen to the club. Like Sheffield Wednesday is a massive club with a massive history, and fans that have supported them for donkey's years, and it's awful. It's horrible seeing a club go
Yeah.
through that. When the
Uh,
fans came on the pitch, it was great the way they did it. I thought the fans that did go on the pitch, they did it in exactly the right way.
yeah, I
And
think the only thing you could say on that is that not enough of them did it with because if everyone had done it, they wouldn't arrest and ban everybody, would they? Well, like now because it's only been that handful of people, that's some people's time watching that club stop for probably at
yeah,
least. I don't think they'll permanently ban anybody for doing it, but
yeah,
because
I
of the
just hope
circumstances.
that to all Sheffield Wednesday fans, I just hope they get their club back at some point.
Yeah, I did see this week that Chansiri is trying to pull in investors to clear debt and pay wages, which I think is an absolute piss take considering the bloke's a billionaire.
Well, it's a billionaire. It's just outrageous, isn't it?
How can you need
Absolutely
to pull in
outrageous.
investors to pay people's wages? It's not like he's paying the staff members there. They're not all on 50 grand a week, are they?
Stop investing all the club's money into your personal bank account.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
but
exactly.
back to City. I think you look at the way we're playing at the moment. I was thinking about it the other day actually, and you watch the game and you think like we've got a new young keeper. Most of the squad's the same as it was last year, but we've got this new young keeper that's on loan, and you think, do you know what? He's starting to look really good. I wasn't sure about him first couple of games of the season,
Yeah.
but I'm more and more sure about him every
I
time you watch
think,
him play.
yeah, I agree with that. And I think another new signing that I think will make an impact, and I can't see a way in which we finish this season without him being the starting centre back is Luke Wolfenden. I think
He looks
it,
class. He does
when
look
he's
quality.
come, like you say, he has looked quality, which isn't very difficult to do at the moment because we are
Yeah,
brilliant. But I think ultimately to come on and look good as a centre back to try and prove yourself to get into the squad is very difficult. Because if you come on as a striker and you're trying to get into the squad and prove yourself, if you come on and score a few, then you've kind of done that. Whereas a centre back,
yeah.
I think it's a lot harder to break into a team. But I think he will do eventually. He looks good when he comes on, which is
But you
good.
look across the team and you think Jay De Silva's been there a couple of years now. He's probably playing the best football he's ever played for the
Oh,
club.
yeah, by a mile.
The same can be said of Victor Torp,
Yeah,
of Brandon Thomas Asante. Had you right? I mean, had you right? Can't stop scoring goals, but he was awesome the first season he played
yeah.
for us. So it's kind of I can't quite
I
tell if
think
he's back to that level or
I,
not.
Van Avaak is the best right back in the league by such a long distance that is actually frightening. He's amazing.
But what I think you look at players like Matt Grimes and what a difference having a player who's that controlled and that good on the board.
But I have an interesting point about him that I was saying to Mum when we were watching City and Seeing is I think pound for pound, I reckon he is the most influential signing in my lifetime. With the difference he makes to the squad, we bought him
Yeah.
for like 2.5 million, and the difference he makes to that team is just a joke. If he was injured next week and we had to play without him, you would notice but you barely
Yeah.
notice that he's playing.
He's the big difference, I think, from the last Mark Robbins squad to the current Frank Lampard squad. He's such a colossal difference because he's so good.
Yeah, and I think a player in that position, it's good when you barely notice when they are playing, but when they're not playing, you really do notice. So it's like he must be doing something right,
See,
which is nice.
I know. Me and you have argued a lot over the last couple of seasons about Haji Wright, and I think I've never said I don't like Haji Wright, and I've never said I don't like him. What I always said was he was so frustrating to watch because you could see there was such a lot of potential there, and there was such an opportunity for him to be. I always said he should be the best striker in the championship, And this season,
He is.
he's the best striker in the championship after 9 games. I hope he's
I
still the
think
best.
just for context for people watching, I think I probably behind Haji Wright's parents are the biggest Haji Wright fans on the planet. I don't think
I
anyone
know
is ahead
you,
of
yeah,
me, apart from maybe his parents and like maybe his wife, possibly.
yeah,
But I think
you
that
are.
they're the only people that even come close to me. On a
You've
more,
always had his back.
I have. I think now we've turned onto the American note. We can skip this part if you want, but we should do the NFL segment.
Yeah, and
I'm starting to
I,
think I might want to delete this section from the podcast and just forget it happened. What a
I
stupid
just
idea.
before we talk about our teams, I just need to issue a bit of an apology because your mum was mad at me last week because I didn't mention the Giants in the podcast and the Giants won. So I said to her this week I would mention the Giants. So this week the Giants got hammered by the New Orleans Saints,
The
who are
worst
one of
team
the
in the
few
league.
teams in the NFL that seem to be deliberately trying to be bad and
Yeah,
deliberately trying to tank their season. They got
I think
absolutely smoked.
I
So
think
yeah,
for context, for people that don't watch much American sports, they'll watch this. Same in the NBA. Because of the draft system, you do get teams each year that are so terrible that it's like they might be doing this on purpose. Like
yeah,
there's a few NBA teams each year where it's like they're having like a trash off where it's like they're genuinely trying to be bad just to get a
yeah.
good draft pick.
And the Giants lost to one of those teams. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how much you want to talk about
Well, I think with
your
my team, I don't think
Ravens.
they're doing it by purpose. I think they're accidentally terrible. I don't think they're terrible on purpose, or by purpose, which is arguably worse. They
I
are
think
awful.
I saw a stat about the Ravens that I think you've got 12 players out injured at the moment, and 11 of them have been Pro Bowlers.
Yeah. So I was saying in our NFL group chat, each week the Ravens post the like injury graphic on Twitter for the week leading up to the game at the weekend. They had to change the font size of the players' names because of how many players were on that list. It almost didn't fit at a readable font on the screen. It was ridiculous. I think you've got noticeable ones like Lamar Jackson's obviously one of the better players in the entire league, so having him out isn't ideal. You've still got people like Kyle Hamilton, who he's one of the Pro Bowlers, the safety.
Yeah.
Um, though I can't say his name. It's like the Madia Boeke or something. He's a defensive player, but I don't know how to say his name. He's
Oh, is it
another one that's just
Madabuke or something like that?
yeah,
I know.
something like that. But yeah, there's a few noticeable. I still don't think it's any excuse to be this bad. I
We
know
should also give a shout out at this point. It was Dave's Houston Texans
it was Dave's Houston
that
Texans that
gave
embarrassed
him a
us.
good hiding. So yeah, family rivalry.
It,
Dave got the
yeah,
spoils.
it was awful. I think they were you can blame it on the fact that the quarterback and the star player is now out injured, but they were terrible before that. They were just even worse at the weekend. The defense, which has nothing to do with Lamar Jackson, was absolutely awful.
Yeah, they
Um,
couldn't stop a toddler tantrum at the
they,
moment, could they?
they don't hit anybody. They don't tackle anybody. They don't get anywhere near the ball. The receivers that must play against the Ravens, they must not train the week before because it's like all you've got to do is just
So
run a little.
excited.
And because the offensive line aren't going to do anything, it's like, well, the quarterback can sit and have a picnic, and then he's just going to throw the ball straight to your hands. And even if you're on a like 3rd and 14, you're definitely going to get there, so it doesn't really matter. They must be so stress-free to play against. It's unbelievable. I hate that I care this much now. It's like it's horrible getting into following a sports team. It's like because
Yeah,
one of my teams in COV are doing so well, the other one that I've picked are absolutely trash.
it's all
And I
about
think
balance.
And then I was thinking this to mention on the pod the other day to do with that statement is if you were to I wonder what the odds were for Cov to win the league compared to the Ravens to win the Super Bowl next to each other because I reckon the Ravens
Yeah.
would have been way heavier favourites than Cov to win the league this year.
They'd have been one of the teams that people would have been expecting to be up there for sure.
Yeah, I think
But I
Cov.
think we should probably talk about the Buccaneers now.
Yeah,
Now, if you don't watch the NFL, one of the things that they do that I think is brilliant, and I wish they would bring it into football over here because I think it'd be awesome, is they play in throwback jerseys.
which is amazing.
Every season they'll have a couple of games when they where they play in a throwback jersey. Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is my team, played against the Seattle Seahawks this weekend, and both teams are celebrating their 50th year of being an NFL team.
Yeah.
So both teams played in throwback jerseys, and I'm hoping you'll be able to bring a graphic up of
Oh, well,
this because
it'll be on the screen
I think
somewhere.
it was one of the all-time great jersey matchups.
Yeah,
The Seahawks throwback jersey that they wore was absolute fire. And the
yeah,
Buccaneers, the white and creamsicle Buccaneers jersey, is I think is one of the best. It's one of my favorite sports jerseys
yeah.
ever. But aside from that, in the game, obviously the Buccaneers won another walk up. They've
They're
won
going all right,
four.
haven't
They've won 4 games this season by a combined total of 9 points.
they? That's how it's
So
done.
winning close games. Emeka Egbuka, who was our first round draft pick,
Yeah,
is a wide receiver,
he's a beast.
absolute mega star. Just
Yeah,
unbelievable. He's going to be an absolute monster. He's unbelievable.
yeah, he's
I
really
think
good.
he's only like the third or fourth rookie receiver in NFL history to have a touchdown catch in each of their first 5 games.
Yeah,
He is, to put
yeah, I
it
think
in
I saw.
British context, he is absolute different gravy.
Yeah, he is different gravy. Yeah, he is nice.
Um,
I think that's
yeah,
the only positive point to talk about with the Ravens being so terrible is that they've now gone to number 3 on the projected draft pick. So it's like, well, at least you can have an all-timer draft at least. Like, go and
um,
get somebody good. And they are also linked with Max Crosby
nice. He's a
of
good player.
the
We've got
Raiders, who I love. So that would be a good one.
can't talk about the Bucks without giving a shout out to Baker Mayfield as well. If you're not into the NFL, have Google Baker Mayfield's career path and what he's been through. So he was the number one overall draft pick about 7 or 8 years ago
Yeah,
by the Cleveland Browns. Didn't work out for him there. Got released. His career looked like it was done. He's come to Tampa Bay and
he's a
he's
superstar.
he's got to be up there in the early going for the league MVP because
Yeah,
he's
I think he's.
playing out of his mind at the moment.
I think on the quarterback ratings that they do on the NFL app, I think he's moved to third behind
Yeah,
Josh Allen, Mahomes, and then I'm pretty sure it's him,
yeah.
which is funny.
Mahomes, who's only won 2 games this season.
I know. To be fair, they obviously do take the past into consideration
Yeah,
because credit where credit's due. He has been an absolute
oh,
monster for
Mahomes,
years now.
Mahomes is a beast. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
he is
Not
awesome.
gonna yeah,
Um,
I don't like the Chiefs, but Mahomes is a beast.
and then I think last point because it's saying our meeting is about to run out in 6 minutes. Yeah, it might have been a bit of a weird cut to this segment because we've had to join a new call. However, next segment is our world news section. So, like we said last week, for each week on this segment, we'll have one thing that like you'll probably already know about. There's like actual news that actually happened. We won't talk about it seriously, but like something that actually, and then something you'll just be like, it'll probably usually be funny or stupid or just you probably won't have known about it, but yeah. So we've got both this week. We'll start off with the stupid one because, like you said in my notes section where I sent this to you, it did just say Lampard Benedict, which doesn't give all that much away.
I've got no idea what's coming at all.
This week's super important headline is Frank Lampard mistakes someone for Benedict Cumberbatch. At an Oasis concert, after a few beers, Lampard thought a man he knew from going to his hairdressers was Benedict Cumberbatch and asked the guy for a photo. He later apologised to this man when he realised it wasn't actually Benedict Cumberbatch. It was just somebody that looked like him, which I think is
That'd
quality,
be
especially because Benedict Cumberbatch is quite a unique looking person.
He's very distinctive. He's got very
Yeah,
distinctive features,
yeah.
doesn't he? Yeah. But
Like,
that'd be a good one in the comments. Like, have you ever met somebody that you thought was a celebrity or turned out not to be? Or have you ever been mistaken for somebody else?
if you've ever asked a celebrity for a photo and it hasn't been them, please leave it in the comments because that is amazing to do that to somebody. That is actually hilarious. You think the
See,
awkwardness this guy must have felt?
the closest I've ever come is somebody. I worked at a school once, and I was there for about 3 or 4 months. And one of the teachers for that entire time thought my name was Alan. And I was sat in the staff room one day, and I could just say, "Alan, do you want a coffee?" And I assumed I was reading something, so I just assumed she was talking to someone else. And she went, "Alan, I'm talking to you." And I looked up, and I was the only person there, and she was looking at me, and I went, "What did you just call me?" And she went, "I called you Alan. That's your name, isn't it?"
Alan! 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 Al! Alan!
And I went, "No, my name's Rob." And she went, "Oh, shit. I thought it was Alan. I've been calling you Alan for like 3 or 4 months."
That's like at work today. We were doing tag rugby, and there was this lad I thought was called Max, and I called him Max for about 40 minutes repetitively. I must have said his name at least 25 times in that time on the pitch, and all of a sudden he just decides to go, "My name's not Max," and I said to him, "I've been saying it for 40 minutes. Why would you say that?" He's like, "My
Why you
name's
left it till
Harry."
now?
I was like, "Why have you only just told me that?" I was like, I've called you Jamie and Max, and you haven't decided to correct me on either."
Your name's Harry. Yeah, brilliant.
I thought I was correcting myself by stopping calling you Jamie and starting calling you
Gotta love,
Harry, Max, and
gotta
then
love a
that's
bit of
turned to be wrong.
you gotta love a bit of mistaken identity. Love it.
Unbelievable. And then I think my next world news section, I have it wrote down on my notes as Gary Neville hates flag shaggers, but I think we're gonna have to. I
We
can't
might
put that
have to
on the screen.
I mean, what you can't if you talk about a subject like this, you're probably going to attract some hate one way or another. I would think, having watched the video clip that he put out, I would suggest that anybody that had a problem with it either isn't intelligent enough to understand what he was saying, or has has a different agenda, or didn't watch all of it. Because
Yeah,
he says several times about how passionate he is about his country and
exactly.
about promoting the UK and England. You know, he's an 85 cap England
Exactly.
international. Someone who's done quite a lot to promote the country. And interestingly, talking about the flags and the flags being up all the time, it's an interesting point. I was talking to my dad, to Pops, to you, uh, yesterday. We were talking about the flag, and talking about the flag being up all the time. Because when he was in the fire service, he was telling me the flag, whether it was a Union flag or whether it was the flag of St George, would go up at certain points. There'd be certain days during the
Right.
year. There'd
Yeah.
be stuff
Yeah.
like the Monarch's birthday, Trafalgar
Yeah.
Day, Armed Forces Day, and the flag was taken up, was put up, and it would be taken down at sunset.
Mm.
That was, and the reason for that, rather than just if you put the flag up and leave it up and it's just there, people, it doesn't mean anything, does it? It's not significant. It's just there. You don't even notice it after a while. Whereas if you put it up on certain occasions, on special occasions, there's there's a ceremony and there's some thought and some reverence that goes with that, and
Yeah.
it's also respecting what the flag means. So if you put the flag up, put the Union flag up on the King's birthday, for example, it's paying reverence to the monarch, isn't it? We're putting the
Yeah.
flag up to celebrate the monarch. But and then more importantly, which is something that the military guys that then joined the fire service were always keen to point out is part of your responsibility for displaying a flag like the Union flag or the flag of St George is looking after it.
Yeah.
if you put a flag up, especially in this country, if you put a flag up and leave it up, what's going to happen? It's going to get tatty in the wind. It's going to get discoloured. Pretty soon, it's not going to look like the flag that it's supposed to look like. So a big part of displaying a flag is looking after it, which is why it would come down in the evening.
But I
So
think
it's not getting.
a lot of the points that these people are missing is because people are so bothered about a bit of cloth, and that's what one guy said on RBC the other day. And another point you hear people saying is that, oh, what's wrong with putting up a flag? It's our country's flag, and it's not. That's not the point. It's the intent behind it, and a lot of the time, it's being used as a weapon to try,
Yeah.
and it's being used to mark territory.
And that's the point that gets
like
missed.
this flag is here, and in this area, if you see this flag and you're not English, you're not welcome here. And so, well, that isn't the right manner in which the flag's supposed to be used under. So
Yeah.
obviously, people aren't going to support that if you're the right type of person.
And that's the thing that gets missed is what are you putting the flag up for? Are you putting that flag up to be as a patriotic symbol? If you did that, you display a flag on St. George's Day, or you see people with flags on their cars when England are doing well in a sporting event, or Great Britain flag, your Union flags out when the Olympics was on, or the Queen's Jubilee or the coronation or whatever it was. You see flags being put up when it's a patriotic symbol. Yes, it's great, but I would argue that the vast majority of these people that are going out and putting flags up, painting crosses on roundabouts, it's got absolutely nothing to do with patriotism at all. It's to intimidate. Like you say, it's territory marking. And I know if enough people watch this, we'll probably get some abuse about it. But I always say opinions are like Arsenal's. Everybody's got one.
I think with the flag, putting the flags up and stuff like that, being used as a patriotic symbol, as a person patriotic to Britain or to England, marking territory, and I'm not saying all these people are, but stuff like racism and all of that is anti-patriotic because the country is built on immigrants. So it's part of being patriotic to this country is respecting what some of these people have done, and respecting that where you come from was probably built by immigration. So it's like that isn't patriotic to be waving around flags in these people's faces to try and get them out of the country, because you wouldn't have a country if it wasn't for them. So it's just stupid.
I saw a fantastic quote to a fantastic interview today with a guy. I want to say he's a member of the Scottish Parliament for the Scottish Green Party, and he said he was talking about reform, and so people want something to be angry about at the moment. So the likes of reform are blaming people that are these poor fuckers that come across in these dinghies across the channel. They're the problem. They're not the problem at all. Immigrants aren't the reason. I don't want to make this a political podcast, but here we are.
It's hard not to.
Immigrants, people that are making the journey across the channel in a little dinghy, that those aren't the people that are bringing problems into this country. And he made a great quote. He said, the people that are causing issues and making this country, dragging this country onto its knees, don't arrive in this country in a dinghy. They arrive on a private jet.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's those type of people. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at the billionaires that are not paying their taxes, the people that are cheating the benefit system, the likes of Farage that spout the type of shit that comes out of his mouth.
He's set up companies to try. He's set up companies to try and dodge tax in multiple ways, and these companies employ one person. You will never guess who that one person is.
Yeah,
and Farage. I think I know this is my own fault for replying to it, because you shouldn't with these people, but I just can't help it sometimes. There's this flag which will be on the screen, but because you won't be able to see it through here. It was at the Salford game apparently. It says Gary Neville, traitor scum, own goal Nev, and you'll be able to see to the people that are watching because it'll be on the screen right now. It is being held up by two middle-aged white men, like Gary Neville was saying. So I had to reply to it saying, "This is another flag being held up by middle-aged white men to try and send a negative message to somebody to make them feel they're not welcome in a certain place," which is exactly what Gary Neville said was happening. You simply cannot make this up.
Yeah, they're proof.
The
Well,
irony in some of these people is hilarious.
these people are proving his argument, aren't they? I think all these people have done that come out against him have proved him correct. It's as
I
simple as
still
that.
can't. I've watched the video 3 times of him talking, and I still can't understand how you can watch it and think what he's saying is wrong.
No,
I can't work out the part of it in the video that is wrong.
crazy.
I
Anyway,
simply don't. But yeah, sorry for getting.
power,
It's hard not
power
to.
to you, Nev.
Yeah, it's really, really, really difficult not to. These days because it. Oh, God, it just does my head in. But yeah. Next. Hi guys, this is Josh from the future. I'm currently sat here editing it, and we said it wasn't going to get overly political on this show, and we're doing a terrible job of that. My apologies. We'll try and change it. It's just so difficult during some of the things that happen during this day and age, especially as I listen to a lot of LBC. So this is like my one chance per week to be like that. Oh, sorry guys. Point, that's done for the news. I was going to put in the news that I've cut my hair into a mullet, but I didn't think it was quite big enough world news to make.
Not newsworthy at the moment, yeah.
It's not yet newsworthy. It will be.
Josh is rocking a mullet.
Next section is going to be our WTF is going on section, or Krabby's Corner, as I'll refer it to because of the podcast I got it from. I love this section.
You go first.
Well, the issue I'm having is that I forgot what mine was. Oh, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. I've got it. Yeah, I've got it because we're going to put this in the sports roundup. My WTF is going on, or Krabby's Corner, as I'll refer to it as a lot of the time. This week is international break. Stop ruining the leagues for international breaks. No one wants to stop watching their club side play, so we can watch England beat somebody 4-0. Nobody cares.
I'll tell you who hates international breaks.
Everyone.
International footballers.
Yeah.
You can tell. You watch England play. What is it? It's Wednesday today, isn't it? So England play Wales in a friendly tomorrow. You watch the lack of effort that both sides put into that game.
But it was so funny. This weekend's football. You start to get to about the 70th, 80th minutes of the games, and you've got random players going down with nothing. It's like
City, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put in the LeBron section for the sports roundup. Have you seen? Do you know we were making a joke the other day? LeBron isn't playing in the preseason games because he's got nerve irritation. Have you seen? It's a pain in the nerve in his glute, which has got to be a joke by them lot because they have literally said he's not playing because it's a pain in his ass. Which is so funny. I can't believe they've done that.
I hate international breaks.
International breaks are worst.
I want to watch my club team play.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch England play a boring 1-0 win against Wales where they make 7 subs at half time and the game goes at walking pace.
Well, I think one of the reasons international football is loved so much is one, because the whole country comes together to support the same team, which is pretty cool. But 2, a lot of the time, it happens in the break where you're waiting for your club teams to play again. So it's something to follow and something to watch for a bit. This is replacing it. And you've got to be some next kind of nutter to be country over club when it comes to football. I would rather Cov got promoted to the Premier League this year than England win the World Cup 100 times out of 100.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I love watching England at major tournament, and I would love.
Yeah, it's great.
I would love nothing more than to see England win a major trophy.
Oh, it'd be amazing. Yeah,
in my lifetime, because I think the country would just. In fact, do you know what? With all the ridiculousness that's going on in this country at the minute, the absolute perfect thing that could happen to unite the nation and to bring everyone back to a level playing field at the moment, I think would be England winning the World Cup in the summer. I think if England win the World Cup in the summer, then the flags will be out for the right reasons, and we'll all be waving them.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be no flags left to get put up, but you'll have to just get one off your nearest lamppost. What's your Krabby's Corner or WTF is going on moment?
I don't want to do a driving one every time, but
do you know what? When I was thinking of mine in the car on the way back from work, I thought of like 8 driving ones. I was like, I can't do it.
Well, as you know, I'm away with work at the minute. I'm up in Scotland, so I drove up to Scotland, which is obviously a long way, and spent a lot of time in the car.
Yeah.
Fucking middle lane hogs, man.
Oh, the worst.
Driving up on a Sunday. So you think, I'm going to drive. It's a long way. All the way up in Glasgow, so all the way up the M6 till that comes to an end. M74, just the road goes on forever. Nice open road, especially once you get sort of north of about Lancaster.
Yeah.
You get beautiful road where you can just cruise along. Apart from some fucking idiot that wants to sit in the middle lane at 62 miles an hour
and run it for
nothing around them. What are you doing? Get out of the way. I mean, I was not driving. I'm in a work vehicle, so I'm not going to drive it like a muppet. But
you really want
middle lane hogs, the worst people on the road. If you drive in the middle lane for no reason,
stop driving.
Stop watching the pod.
Or leave a comment. You can get abused by everybody else. I think, right, next section, a bit of an interesting one here because we haven't actually compiled much of a joint list, but we'll just go with it the same way we did last week. We'll just go at it. If we end up missing any, then we missed any. Tough. But we will go. It's the top 5 section. And this week's top 5 is sports trophies. This was your idea. So I'll let you take centre stage on some of these.
It's not about which is the most important to win or which trophies are the best looking.
Yeah, so if you had an award that was for winning the Premier League, which of these trophies would you want to receive? Looks wise, isn't it?
So, for example, like the Champions League trophy is the biggest trophy in European football, but it's ugly, so it's not going to get into our top 5. I'm not talking about like good looking, like pretty trophies.
Proper trophies, yeah.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
You'll have to put a photo up of each of them. But this is
in no particular order.
It's the trophy. It used to be it's the old First Division trophy. It's now awarded to the team that wins the championship.
Yeah,
football. That trophy is
beautiful. Lovely.
No, it's such a nice. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'll get to see Matt Grimes parading around the CBS Arena with it in May.
Yeah, it would look great in Matt Grimes' hands. I think that's a worthy spot on the top 5. I think, in my opinion, number 1, but like I said, no particular order, the World Cup. I think the World Cup is the best looking trophy ever. It's amazing.
Are you talking about the original World Cup, as in the Jules Rimet trophy that England won? Or are you talking about the World Cup as it looks now? Because they're different.
To be honest, both are amazing. I just love the concept of it. I just love how it's completely different to everything else. It's not a proper cup with like handles. I just think it's class. I'll put a photo of both on the screen because they're both on there. But I think the older one's better.
Of the two, I think the Jules Rimet, the original one, the England one, is the better.
I agree, yeah. But I think they're both class. So
we'll have them both. The World Cup is both going to be number 2. The next one, I'm going to go with the Stanley Cup.
Oh, that's going to be my next one.
If you don't watch other sport, it's the trophy that's awarded to the team that wins the NHL playoffs, the ice hockey playoffs. The trophy's absolutely massive, but I think it's a good looking trophy. But I think what's cool about it is each player from the team that wins the Stanley Cup gets to take it back to their hometown.
Yeah.
And that's always quite captain skating around
Yeah, there'll be a photo of the trophy, obviously, and it's also
Yeah,
going to be a photo of how tall it is because it is, like you say, it is genuinely enormous for a trophy.
yeah.
But I think, yeah,
Well,
if that's third, I think my fourth one is going to be the FA Cup.
it's got to
The
be.
FA
That's
Cup
what
is the
proper
unity.
trophy. Proper
It,
trophy.
it's, I always think of it like the Championship trophy. They're the type of ones where, and not with the World Cup or the Stanley Cup, for example, if you had like uh, a mantelpiece or like a something in your house that you wanted trophies on, they're the ones you'd want on there, isn't it? Like a proper beautiful
Yeah.
looking trophy. They're like they're like jewellery pieces almost, rather than like trophies. I just think they look fantastic. But yeah, that's got to be on the top five. Has to be.
And the last one for me, um, I'm going to go with. I was thinking about this because there's a few that I could have gone with, like the Ryder Cup, the Europa League trophy, but I've decided to go with the Wimbledon men's singles trophy.
Again, proper trophy.
Proper, like beautiful, intricate, fantastic gold trophy.
Yep. I think we'll
Absolute.
have the worst of the worst is plates or like shields. Do you know like shield trophies where they're just like a
Yeah,
plate that's got like the inscription? They
not a
suck.
fan.
Get them out of
Not
sport. They're terrible.
You've got. I'd also give. I always think really, and again, I was talking to my dad about this yesterday. One of the really cool and really unique trophies I think that probably deserves a bit of a special mention is the Ashes. I don't
Okay.
know if you've ever seen the tiny little Ashes urn.
Oh, right.
Gets
Okay.
awarded
Yeah.
to the winner of the England versus Australia men's cricket
Yeah.
Test cricket. That's a brilliant trophy, really
There
special
are a
trophy.
lot of good ones. Right. Last section and a new section for the pod, which I'm very excited about. And this is going to be a one-way sort of thing. So I'm going to present it and you're going to play. Is we are going to do ducking through doorways tenable. So each
Okay.
week, I think we should keep it. I know we will rotate who presents actually, because I'd like to go because it is fun. This week's category is top 10 all-time leading scorers in NBA history. So what we will do is you get 3 lives each week. I
Okay.
doubt you're going to need that this week, but if you get 3 wrong, what we'll do is we'll keep a leaderboard. So if you manage to
I
get
lose.
5 before you get 3 wrong, you get 5 points, and that will go towards your point tally. If you get all 10, you get all 10. But if you get 3 wrong, you're out. So whatever you've got before that, you've done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the notes up because I'm just going to keep a number of which ones you've got. But for it, because there's the obvious few that I know you already know. So
Yeah.
fire them off.
I might come close to. I'm not sure I'll get all 10 because I think there's a few that I
Yeah,
might need a few more lives than that. But number one, I'll go with the obvious one. I'll go with LeBron James.
yeah. So you've got LeBron at 1.
Then I'll go. I'm not gonna. I don't think I won't get them in order. That's for sure.
No,
I'll go Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
obviously correct. Kareem,
second.
has he ever took him?
I'm gonna go with Karl Malone.
Absolutely. Number 3,
I'll go with Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is number 5. So you've just missed one to get MJ.
I think is Kevin Durant number 4 now.
Kevin Durant is number 8.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant is the 4th. I'll be surprised if you didn't get this whole list.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Nowitzki is number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've got
Uh,
8.
yeah, you need 7, 9, and 10.
Carmelo Anthony.
Is number 10.
I think there's got to be a slightly
By the way.
older. There must be an old school player that's been on there for a while. That's dropped somebody like Moses Malone.
First life gone.
I'm going to kick
So
myself if I don't get these as well.
because it's top 10, I think Carmelo's 10th on 28,200. So I think as much as there's lists where older players can be on it, we're talking like getting into the generations where the point scoring wasn't like 60 a game. It's up there, isn't it? So like,
Uh,
there's one old school player on there, and then there's one that's more recent history, retired there.
Wilt Chamberlain's got to be on there.
Wilt Chamberlain's number 7.
So what have I got now?
9.
Just number 9, and I've got 2 lives.
I didn't know he was this high on the list, I must admit.
I was going to say Shaq, but I don't think he'll be that high up.
Are you using that as one of your guesses?
Yeah, go on. I'll go with Shaq.
Shaq is number 9.
Come on.
So there you go. 10 points to kick off. Tenable ducking through doorways edition. I promise everything on this pod isn't going to be about LeBron James, but yeah, he is top of the list. He did cross 50,000 all-timer points. If you include playoffs, 42,184 points if you include the regular season, which is ridiculous. However, yeah, 10 out of 10 for your first one. So fair play. I was expecting that, to be fair. I thought you were going to do that.
I wasn't sure I'd get all 10.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought you would. So that's fair play. Yeah, I think that rounds off episode 2 of whatever we're going to call this. So yeah, episode 2 of whatever this is, and episode 11 of the general videos on the channel. So yeah, perfect stuff.
Happy days.
Yeah. Thanks for watching again. If you are still watching.
Yeah.
Leave your recommendations for top 5s for Tenable now. Obviously, try and fill it into what will be decent at, because if you do top 10 of like something
best selling classical albums.
Yeah, I've got no chance. So it's like
might struggle with that.
Yeah. Sorry if they are sport related every week, but that just happens to be where my knowledge is. So I've not really got much choice. Like realistically. But yeah, see you guys next episode.
Yeah, we'll see you next one. We'll be back in the same room next time.
So it'll be a lot easier next week, I think. Yeah, it won't take 2 hours to record a half 40-minute pod.
Next week, when we talk about the sports section, because of the international break, City will still be top of the league. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah, we will still be top. We just won't have any COV to talk about. We might find something. Anyway, see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.
Cheers.
Peace.